What movie do you consider perfect? The original Alien. I am 24 years old. Born in 1995. First time watching was in the grandparents' farmhouse in Ireland. Grandmother puts it on at 10:30 and says, "Enjoy, lads. Love you both," and leaves us with Coca-Cola, crisps, you name it, we had it. All the munchies 2 12-year-olds could want. End of the film, and I've never been so fucking terrified. Still scares me to this day, and I practically know it word for word. Saving Private Ryan. Silence of the Lambs. The original Jumanji. If you haven't watched it in a while, do it and pay attention to the details. There is no redundant scene in that entire movie. The attention arc is perfect. There's a payoff for everything. A lot of subtext. It's a truly great movie. Edit. Silver for Jumanji. Thank you, Stranger, and thank you, Robin Williams. Full Metal Jacket. The Iron Giant. Star Wars. Episode 5. The Empire Strikes Back. Oh brother, where art thou? Hands down. Gladiator. Character development. The pace. The ending. Everything was perfect. Edit. Thanks for my first silver. The Godfather. Forrest Gump. OMG, my first silver. Thank you so much, random stranger. D. John Carpenter's The Thing. It's the perfect blend of isolation, paranoia, bloody horror, practical effects, and a shape-shifting alien. Edit. Obligatory thanks for gold, silver, platinum. Plus, this unused idea for the final confrontation is a must-see by anyone who has enjoyed this movie. Edit 2. Can't believe I forgot about the write-up that tells the story from the alien's perspective. Thanks, you, Scars the Vampire. It makes some assumptions about the end, but is still an enjoyable read. Coming to America. This is Spinal Tap. Better Off Dead. Young Frankenstein. Wow, gold twice. Thanks, kind strangers. But it is like the best movie. Big Lebowski. The Prestige. And #X200B. Has big names, good unexpected and believable twists, a touch of sci-fi, and touches on some interesting moral, ethical dilemmas that humanity might need to deal with one day. Office Space. Edit. Thank you, Redditors, for some hilarious comments and threads. Edit. Thank you, kind Redditor, for the silver. Edit. Thank you for the gold. Dash closing parenthesis dot. I now have 2 pieces of flair. Raiders of the Lost Ark is the perfect action movie for me. The intro to Indiana Jones in the Jungle is perfect. Even with little dialogue, the pacing is great. The characters are solid. The humor is natural. The environments are diverse. And the music is unforgettable. Just an awesome, fun time. Fellowship of the Ring. The Truman Show. How to Train Your Dragon. And #X200B. When an expecting kinda rubbish kids film with a not at all catchy title ended up being a deep story about how humans slaughter these creatures that exist under a dictatorship of mind control and the threat of being killed. On top of that, there is a bunch of rich dragon lore. Stand By Me. Goodfellas. The Hunt for Red October. Believable characters. Believable tech, even for the one bleeding edge thing that underpins the whole movie. Deaths are few and significant. Very little in the way of special effects, so what is there doesn't screw things up too badly. It's a repeat watch for me. Can't find anyone saying 12 Angry Men. Children of Men. Its cinematography is incredible. The acting and story flow of events is also perfect. Everything came together and it's beautiful. Edit. This got a lot of responses. If you haven't seen this movie, tread lightly reading the replies to my comment, as there are tons of spoilers. And this movie is probably the last movie you want spoiled. Not that you want any movie spoiled, but still. Wall-E. Up. It is my all-time favorite movie. No matter how many times you watch it, it'll make you laugh, cry, and feel like a kid again. It is the perfect story, with perfect characters, and a perfect setting. Airplane. This is one of those movies that's the equivalent of the Balmer Peak. If the comedy broke just a little, or the timing was off, it would be really bad. Instead, it's comedic genius from Mrs. Brady being the only one who could speak jive to all the exterior shots of a jet that has propeller noises. Edit. Thank all 300 of you who have correctly pointed out that it was Mrs. Clever. Good Will Hunting. Alien. There Will Be Blood is perfect in my eyes. Little Miss Sunshine. The characters, and the cast selected for them, absolutely brilliant. The storyline is really in-depth yet relatable because the Hoovers are like any other family. Complicated. The writing is superb. All the characters have development and impactful scenes. And the camera work, my word, is it phenomenal. Time and time again each shot is symbolic. Every character's position in frame means something. Fantastic work. And don't get me started on the soundtrack, if you're not blown away by any of the sheer skill I've mentioned. The music throughout will definitely sway you. Touching and emotive, so fitting. It's so lovely and I always get emotional by its beauty every time I watch it. Jurassic Park. The Room is here. Getting 0-100ths on a multiple choice test is still a type of perfect score. And the same thing is true for Tommy Wiseau. Fargo. Die Hard. Perfect action movie. Also, Alan Rickman. Edit. Yippee-ki-yay. I got gold for mentioning the best Christmas movie ever. Thank you. Fight Club. Prisoners. It never had a dull moment and always makes you think, like, if you're in that situation, what would you do? Or, oh, he's the one who did it. Fuck NVM, it's her. Oh, it's him for sure, or maybe it's, etc., etc. The acting is only just the best acting can ever reach. Everything was just genius from start, middle to end. Tombstone. Yes, there are liberties taken against the true story, and I'm okay with that. Everybody talks about Val Kilmer's performance as Doc, and they're not wrong. But that's not the only great dynamic to the film this year. The relationships between each main character, ranging from good, neutral, evil, as well as lawful, neutral, chaotic, are phenomenal as well. Edit. My first gold. Thank you, kind stranger. Edit 2. A silver now too. Question mark. Wow. Thanks you. Pulp Fiction. Harold and Maude. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. The idea that all of humanity could come to an end because the people in charge are idiots still blows my mind. This movie was made 55 years ago. Catch me if you can. Back to the Future, the first one. Though I do enjoy the other two. The dialogue is brilliantly tight. The acting is incredible and the story, while bizarre, is original and executed flawlessly and includes some truly iconic sequences. The skateboard chase scene, the insane bedroom scene with his mom, the parking lot knockout, the Johnny B. Good sequence, etc. Also, the whole aesthetic of the movie is one big masterpiece. The set pieces, the cinematography, the soundtrack, it all fits together as one. When I think of movie magic, this is one of the movies that comes to mind. Edit. Thanks for the gold upvotes, Karma. Haven't got this many points in anything since that time I flipped my car on the highway. Second edit. Saw a few comments about how weird it is. And there's more than one weird part of this movie. That George hires Biff years later and is cool with him being around. I always thought it was way darker than that. George hit Biff so hard that he lost consciousness for several minutes. In real life, that means serious brain damage, which would explain how dopey Biff is later on. But George wasn't content with that. He wanted to subtly control Biff psychologically for the rest of his life. And so he did. To make it even darker, in BTTF2, Biff briefly wakes up from being knocked out as Marty is standing over him his ear. What does Marty do? He violently fist blasts him directly in the face at a 90-degree angle, hard enough to knock him fully unconscious a second time. We never see how badly that truly wrecks him in the alternate future. What about Bob? Richard Dreyfuss legitimately hated Bill Murray on set. Julie Hagerty is a comic genius. Charlie Korsmo puts in a child performance for the ages. And for bonus, a young Catherine Erb from Law and Order. Blazing Saddles. So much comedic genius. It's never boring to watch. Studio Ghibli movies. Spirited Away is my particular favorite. Groundhog Day. Silence of the Lambs. The Matrix. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. No Country for Old Men. The First Blues Brothers. That's gonna do it for this one. Remember to smash that like button down below. Leave a comment telling me your favorite answer from today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Be sure you never miss an upload by hitting that little bell. Thanks for watching.